Hi YouTube, it's me, Miss Panda, coming at you today with another little quick video where I discuss different topics, whether it's celebrity gossip or just different issues and topics that's going on in the world that affect us today. The first topic that I want to talk about is Irv Gotti, who set the internet on fire following his claim that recently deceased rapper DMX died from an overdose of crack laced with fentanyl. The statement was made at a Chicago radio station. The problem is, the statement was made before DMX's official cause of death was released to the public. Here's the problem that I have with that. I don't think that Irv Gotti made that statement out of malicious intent behind it. However, I feel like just because you know something, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should say it. Also, I also feel like it was a little disrespectful to the family. I felt like he's still pretty cool with DMX's ex-wife Tashira, being that Irv Gotti's ex-wife Deb Lorenzo and Tashira are best friends till this day. They were introduced to each other by DMX and Irv Gotti because Irv Gotti kind of had something to do with DMX being in the entertainment world too. Now, here's the thing. I have a problem with that because I feel like he could have spoke to Tashira about it or spoken to somebody else in his family in regards to this issue, because you don't really know how much information the family wanted to disclose as far as that. You don't know if they wanted to leave that part out. You don't know how that's going to have an effect on his kids. You don't know how it's going to affect his fiance and his ex-wife. You don't know if they really wanted to talk about that to the public, And we don't know for sure with absolute certainty if that's how he really died. That's why you have to be careful what you say. He did apologize for it, but it's already out in the atmosphere. And once you put something out in the atmosphere, you can't really take it back. If it were me, I think if I was like his fiance or DMX's fiance or one of his children, I would be pissed. I would be pissed because why would you say something like that? Even if it were true, like why would you put that out there? Sometimes you got to leave certain things alone. The next topic I want to talk about is Jonathan Pentland, who is a 42-year-old U.S. Army sergeant. You may know Jonathan Pentland from a video that went viral on the internet with him having a confrontation with a black young man, African American. He looked like a teenage boy that was walking down a suburban neighborhood. The man came out his house and confronted the black teen who was walking down the street, indicating to him that he never seen him before and insisting that he didn't live on this street. And the young man kept insisting that he wasn't bothering anybody and that he did live on that street. And in fact, he did. But the man, obviously, maybe he never seen him before. He just kept, blocking his path and telling him that he was lying and, chest bumping him. And every time he kept trying to walk away, he just kept blocking his path. Now, the cops had to move him out of his house because a whole bunch of different people saw the video. Because they posted a video, I guess they must have thought it would be funny. And it went viral. And a lot of people had mixed reactions about it. But it angered some people. It angered a lot of people to the point where they all got together, found out where this man lived, and pulled up on him. And went to his house and posted up outside his house and was telling him to come on outside because we want you to give us that same type of energy and that smoke. We want the smoke. Needless to say, he never came outside. But they stood their ground and they kind of hung around the house. And a window of his got broken somehow, and a light fixture got broken. So that kind of made the police feel that his life was in danger, and it made them feel like they had to move him to a safer location. Here's the thing with that particular situation. Sometimes you have to mind your business. That situation is a situation that he put himself in. I felt like sometimes you can't always be a tough guy. And sometimes you have to learn to leave people alone, and learn to mind your business. Everything is not your business. If he's walking down the street, minding his business, then leave him alone. It wasn't your right to approach him and harass him in that way. Also, he wasn't doing anything. It's not like he attack your wife or disrespected her in a, came at her in a disrespectful way. It's not like he was disrespectful to your children. He wasn't confrontational with you. He tried many times to walk away and you kept blocking his path. So that's why this situation escalated into what it was, because it angered some people, not because he was black, but because he was small. You don't really get cool points for, bullying somebody. It looked like you was bullying him. He looked like he was being bullied because the guy was so small in stature. Even though the sergeant wasn't really big, but he was bigger than this little guy. So that's why people felt like they needed to pull up and defend that. He ended up getting arrested for 3rd-degree assault, and he got out of jail after he posted bond, and then that's when the police moved him to a safer location. Boy, oh boy. Here's the thing. You just got to learn how to leave well enough alone. And I feel like if somebody walks up on you, you have a right to defend yourself. Nobody has a right to ask you where you're going. He's not law enforcement. Like, he's not anybody's dad. He doesn't have to answer to you. What made you the authority? He wouldn't have to fear for his own life had he stayed in his house and mind his own business. But anyway, the next topic that I want to talk about is, have y'all noticed that Keyshia Cole and her baby daddy, Niko, Khale, has been throwing subliminals at each other? Yeah, I noticed that, every single time he posts up a picture of him and his new girlfriend, she's always posting up these subliminals about how happy she is and how she can't wait to go on a vacation with her new boo and that nobody has seen yet. And then she posted up a picture maybe a few weeks back of this huge hickey on her neck, which in my opinion, I feel like she's not like old, but I feel like after a certain age, I don't feel like the hickey thing is, to me, it's just not cute when you're a woman of a certain age, especially when you're 30 plus years old, like pushing 40. There's no way in hell, and I'm a married woman, that I'm going to walk around with a hickey on my neck at this age. Whatever I do in my bedroom is my business with my man, and I'm not going to sit up there and if I do have hickeys, they're going to be in places where you can't see them. I'll say that. And yeah, but she's been posting subs or whatever, trying to make it appear that she's like super unbothered. But the fact that you keep talking about stuff, and it goes to show that you are bothered by it. She makes herself look like she's bothered. And he's just feeding into it, even though he's with this new girl. He still seems like he's kind of still hung up on Keyshia low-key to me a little bit. That's what I get from it. That's just my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. And because they keep feeding into it or whatever. His new chick, to me, I feel like she's cute. I don't think she looks better than Keyshia Cole, because I think Keyshia Cole is a beautiful woman. I think that her attitude is stank. And I also noticed that after a couple of guys that she's dealt with, I don't know every single body that she's dealt with, but most of the celebrity men that she has dealt with, after they come out of a relationship with her, I noticed that they seem to all get into relationships with women of other races. Jeezy married Jeannie Mai, which is an Asian woman, a beautiful Asian woman. And who else? Her other baby daddy, well, her ex-husband, got with a Spanish woman, a beautiful Spanish woman. They're all beautiful. And now her recent ex and baby daddy got with a Latina too, a beautiful Latina woman. Not as pretty as Keyshia, but she's still beautiful nevertheless. Here's the common denominator. Keyshia, I love you. I love your music. I think you have a beautiful, amazing voice. However, honey, I think it's you. You are the common denominator. It cannot be all of these men. If everybody's saying the same thing about you, homegirl, it is you, honey. It's you. It's certain things that you need to sit down and work on. It's nothing wrong with staying single for a little while to work on yourself. I've been in relationships where I've been brokenhearted before. I had to sit down and ask myself, yeah, some of the guys were pieces of shit. I'm not going to lie about it. Some of them were pieces of shit. But because I was in love, I couldn't see it. because I was just so blinded by just being, oh, he's so cute, and oh, the sex was just amazing, and he just had my eyes rolling in the back of my head, and oh, he just had me, oh. But honey, they were pieces of shit. And I had to ask myself, what could I do different moving forward? What could I change about myself? Why do I keep attracting these type of men? What is it about me that needs to change? It's nothing wrong with taking like maybe a year or so to yourself. Years back, before I met my husband, I was in a long-term relationship with this guy that I was just in love with. Like, I had met him when I was in high school, and we had dated for a few years, and he was a piece of shit. Okay? But like I said, at that time, I didn't notice that because I was a teenage girl, so I didn't know any better. And he was a little older than me. Anybody who knows me knows who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to name drop because I don't want to talk about, I don't want to give him that type of play. Not on my platform. I don't fuck with him like that. But anyway, you know, he was a little older than me. He was a little bit more into the world than I was. So he was kind of slick, but I didn't see that he was slick. I mean, he was my Prince Charming, or so I thought. Honey, he turned out to be a wolf in sheep's clothing. But anyway, after I broke up with him, I had to sit up there and take some time to myself and just to get to know myself, just to figure out what I wanted in a relationship. Don't get me wrong, I did date, but it was nothing serious. It doesn't necessarily mean that I slept with every single guy that I went on a date with. A date is just that. We talked on the phone. We got to know each other. We went on dates where we courted, where we went out to the movies. We went and did different activities, such as like maybe, you know, playing miniature golf, going to play pool, just different little things like that. If I felt like I wanted to do a little something with him, I did, because I was single. Of course, they had to use something. And if I didn't, I just didn't. And if they didn't like it, oh, the fuck well, get the fuck on. Simple as that. I think that she needs to do that. I think she needs to just take a little bit of time for herself to try to just discover what she wants out of a relationship, to find out why she keeps attracting these men, to find out what she needs to change about herself moving forward. Because I've watched different reality shows, because again, I'm an avid Keyshia Cole fan, and I'm not talking bad about her, but somebody needs to be honest with her. I don't know if she has yes men around her, but she doesn't seem like the type of person that takes criticism well. And she looks like the type of person that'll snap on you if you tell her something about herself that she doesn't want to hear. So that's probably why the people around her probably don't tell her these things. But that's what I think that she needs to do. And I think that she'd be better off. I think she's an absolutely beautiful woman aesthetically. She's aesthetically pleasing to the eyes. However, looks are not everything. Looks are not everything. When you got men, and in some cases, she did break up with these guys. But it's not like you leveled up. It's like after she got with her ex-husband, Gib, what she calls him. Everybody else calls him Booby. He was, her baby daddy was young. You know? Maybe she wanted somebody she can control, and he just wasn't for it. I think he really did like her at first, and I think that she thought because she was Keyshia Cole that would be enough to like hold him in place. And I think maybe in the beginning he was a little infatuated with the fact that was Keyshia Cole. Because again, like I said, she's a beautiful woman, but it's certain things about her personality that's a turnoff, a bit of a turnoff. Nobody wants to deal with somebody that, and yeah, I'll be watching Kevin Samuels. I mean, she has the look. She is physically fit. She has her own career, but some men don't really care about that when they have their own. But I think it's just mainly her attitude. Her attitude sucks ass. Nobody's going to want to deal with that. And you moving closer and closer and closer to 40. You knocking on 40's door. Okay? And I'm not judging nobody, but you want somebody that's going to stay. Anybody can attract somebody, but you want them to stay. You want to be able to lock them in. That's why a lot of these other women are winning. They're snatching our men from us. Because they kind of know how to, hi, honey, how was your day? Oh, okay. Are you ready to eat? Oh, okay. You don't feel like talking right now? Oh, okay. I'll talk to you later. You got to learn how to do that. Stop being so combative. Stop being so argumentative. Okay, you stand your ground on certain things, but you got to pick your battles. You got to know when to shut the fuck up, and you got to know when to stand up for yourself. Nobody wants to be a doormat. Nobody's saying that. That's not what Miss Panda is saying. But you got to know when to shut your fucking mouth. Sometime, if you want to keep your man. Sex is good, but it's not enough. Being pretty is good. Looks fade. Sex gets old. You want to be able to keep your man when your looks start fading. Because after a while, even sometimes people get tired of your sex. You want to be able to keep your man. You don't want them to keep leaving. I know you don't want to keep starting over. Okay? So what do you guys think? You could drop down in the comment section and leave a comment for me. That would be nice. And that will conclude today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tell a friend to tell a friend. Until next time, YouTube.